was born and raised in Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city with a population of over 2 million people. I grew up in a very friendly neighborhood with a lot of kids around. When I was a kid, my mom would take me to see a drama performance in the theater or a ballet, or she would take me for a walk in the Central Park or in the zoo. There was always so much to see and do as a kid in Kharkiv. People in Ukraine are very friendly and hospitable, and I remember our house being filled with guests who would stop by for coffee or dinner several times a week. I first came to the United States in 2002 as an exchange student. I was studying journalism in Murray State University in Kentucky, and this is where I met my future husband, who also happened to be from Ukraine and even from the same city that I am. February 24th, my husband and I were watching the news coverage from Ukraine. I remember screaming to my husband, "They're bombing our home." I remember grabbing my phone and trying to call my mom and not getting any signal. I remember shaking as if I was placed in the ice-cold water. In addition, I felt extreme guilt for not being able to convince my mom to leave Ukraine when the news about the inevitable invasion intensified. About a week before war started, I remember calling her and asking her if she feels coming over to visit us would be a good idea now, and she brushed me off by saying, "Oh, come on, do you really think Russians will bomb us?" Later, I got a text from my mom telling me that the air raid siren went on and she and a few of her neighbors were hiding in the building basement and the connection might get cut. This is when it hit me that it could be the last time I'm speaking with my mom. On day 5, the missile hit the building where my mom's apartment was. Thankfully, she was hiding in the shelter when this happened. And as soon as she could, she called me. Her voice was shaking and she said, "I'm ready to leave." Thousands and thousands of people were fleeing their homes with nothing but teeny tiny purses in their hands, with the military planes flying over people's heads. It was a horror movie that came to life. Finally, after 18 hours, my mom was able to get on the train, and then she spent around 15 hours trying to get to the Western Ukraine. After she got to Western Ukraine, she was met by volunteers that put her on a bus to Poland. My friends from Sweden, on my request, flew from Sweden to pick up my mom in Poland and take her to their place. The reason for this extra step was that back then, the United States still required the COVID test to enter the country, and we were reasonably afraid that my mom might have contracted COVID. Thankfully, my mom tested negative. My friends put her on the plane, and several hours later, I was able to finally hug her in Washington, D.C. The first night, I got a phone call from Managing Director of Randstad Sourceright North America, offering me the financial support from the company to cover the costs of evacuation for my mom. This was huge. Not having to worry about the financial side of things was immense help. I received so many messages of love and care and support, so many offers of help. People were sending their wishes, their prayers, gift cards. Having my Randstad family love me and support me helped me to navigate through the hardest weeks of my life. I don't think I'm yet able to fully comprehend how the war in Ukraine changed my life. In addition to obvious changes like having my mom and my mother-in-law here with us in the US, helping them heal from the trauma they endured, supporting them and helping them to adjust to a totally new life, I do realize there is this deep trauma I'm still to face and to deal with. Seeing your entire past being destroyed by Russian missiles is something I was absolutely not prepared for. I don't think anyone is. Brave Ukrainians are fighting to protect their country and the entire civilized world, and we need the world to stand by us. Please donate to the organization supporting Ukraine. We will win this war, but this victory is coming at a very high price for Ukrainians, and we need every little bit of support from the world. Randstad motto is human forward. I would call it human all around. Knowing that you work for the company that truly cares and supports its employees in good and bad times is absolutely priceless. I want the world to know that Randstad has a huge heart.